Hockey headlines. It's been a bit of a sad one recently. We've seen 3 players who, from international hockey ranks, pass away, including our very own Dale Harrop, who was in a surfing incident in Muriwai on December 17. Had a memorial for him on Friday. Really, one awesome thing to come out of it is just seeing the generosity of people, the love of people when they all come together in a moment like that. His sister put up a Give a Little page. In the space of a week, I think $40,000 was raised for the family. So it's awesome to see that kind of support. But like you know me, Manaia, I've been covering the Ice Blacks for years and years. And so I've seen these guys in all sorts of, game situations, and I've been able to tour with them as well. But to go into a situation like that, you kind of see them at their most vulnerable. Like I've never seen that before. And it was quite hard. My wife went along with me for support. We were there to support the guys, and just, it was just a lovely kind of, service to kind of celebrate the man.
And one thing I will say about ice hockey, as you mentioned, I've got a couple of friends who are into it. I'm from down south, so I know a few people who play it. The biggest part of ice hockey is community. It's all about the hang after the game, before the game, being at the rink,
beers.
The beers, obviously, the beers in the parking lot. But to see the community come together, so many, sticks at the front door across social media. And I think that obviously this is an awful thing to happen, but I think that's one of the values, particularly of sport, but in this instance, ice hockey, is to be able to have that community so that when these things happen, to be able to lean on each other.
Yeah, and I think it kind of really makes you almost reset and just realize, what do you value in life? What's important to you? And I think that's been one real nice thing. And Dale's the kind of guy, he's lived almost, his whole adult life through that team, 10 years with the Ice Blacks and plus the under-20s and under-18. So, you don't realize until someone is gone the kind of impact that they actually have on the amount of people's lives. So,
For sure.
It's really awesome to see the kind of legacy that someone like Dale Harrop will have. And, hopefully he is, remembered in some way, maybe, I don't know, like an award or something named after him.
You would think so?
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, tough to move on from that. I guess I'm just new to ice hockey, but Alex Ovechkin of the Washington Capitals, he's gone past.
You've done better than
Gordie Howe. He's gone past Gordie Howe, second in all-time NHL goals.
You've done better at Ovechkin than most people do. This has been the big storyline around the NHL for probably the past few years now. Ever since he hit 600 goals, the idea was, is he going to get to Gretzky's record, the great one? Is he going to break the all-time goal-scoring record? Gretzky is 894. Ovi is now on 802. It seemed like forever before he was going to hit 801 to tie with Gordie Howe, and he finally hit that mark. He scored 2 goals in his last game before the Christmas break. So he's got that monkey off his back, and now there's just one more. He's 37, and the whole idea of him even getting close to Gretzky's record, you look at how many goals he scores in a season. I think they factored in that he had to score average 37 to try and reach it by the time he hits 40, because that's when his contract runs out. He might sign for a year-on-year basis beyond that point with the Capitals. He's probably going to be that kind of player that stays with one team for his entire career. He is Washington sports for a lot of people.
Yeah.
But, he's gone well beyond that in terms of scoring. It's been kind of ridiculous, the amount of goals that he has been scoring. Father Time catches up to a lot of people, but with the way he plays the game, it seems like he's been able to preserve his body and preserve the way he plays. So instead of averaging 36, 37 goals a season, he's hitting 50, 48.
Wow. So he will, in theory, be able to catch that?
He could hit it before he hits 40.
And if he does that doesn't vault him into the same conversation as Gretzky, though, does it?
I think he still remains a slight tier below. You might put, if it's a Mount Rushmore of, hockey players, Gretzky is always right up there at the top.
PK Subban.
Maybe not. I'm a big PK Subban fan, but no, Gretzky, I think he's the great one. Sure, Ovi is known as the Great Eight because of the number he wears on his jersey, but
it's just because it rhymes.
Exactly.
Well, he did that. He got to that second fastest or second highest goals in the NHL, 457 games shorter than Andrew Howe did to get to that one. So I thought that was fascinating as well. You say that's the pace of goal scoring that is at, right?
Yeah, and the crazy thing is that a lot of people, there's people out there that kind of almost diminish the accolades because, especially when you think of like empty net goals and stuff like that, it's a bit of a gimme. And the majority of his goals, Ovechkin, are all done in a very similar fashion. On the power play, they've got a man advantage. He's always there on the left-hand side on the hash mark. And you'd think, okay, you know where he's going to score. Why don't you just stop and wait and defend him? There's still 4 other guys on the ice that you have to worry about. So he's always able to find that open space. And, you know, he has that quick release on a shot that, 9 times out of 10, let's say, if he's gonna take that shot, it'll probably go in. So I think it's just the mark of the man that he's been able to, keep going for as long as he has. He started off being really physical, and he's probably dialed back on that a little bit to realize he does need to preserve his body as he gets a bit older. But his scoring touch has never left him.
How long did Gretzky play for? Did he play till he was 40? I feel like he played for a long time.
I remember he retired in 1994. He was on the cover of Sports Illustrated, and I watched that last game, and like 12 years old? I teared up inside, that's for sure. Yeah, I mean, there's not many players that do have a long-lasting career hitting their 40s. Gordie Howe is one that comes to mind. It seems to be defensemen more than attackers, but with the way the game is going now, it's so fast. For someone to go 40 and beyond, like over years now, is such an achievement.
Yeah.
If he does get there. I mean, he's 37. He's still got a few more years up his sleeve, but seems likely.
Knock on wood. Plenty of ice hockey action going on at the moment as well. Where's the action in the next few days there, Logs?
Big one, the Winter Classic, Fenway Park. This is where the NHL goes outdoors. You've got the Boston Bruins hosting the Pittsburgh Penguins at the home of the Boston Red Sox. I know there's a few Boston sports fans out there in New Zealand. There's a few at this station alone. I believe you're a Celtics fan?
Not at all.
Not at all?
No.
No, must be. Oh no, that's Ricardo. That's Ricardo. He's the
Ouch.
Celtics fan. Both hairy men. Both hairy men. Yeah, no, it's one of the calendar games of the season because they completely transform a ballpark into this outdoor hockey rink.
Incredible.
And it's an incredible sight. Just on TV alone, the game might not always be the best because the quality of the ice can change a little bit. Being outdoors, there's a lot of elements there to worry about, particularly sunlight.
Plus, they're going to prepare a green seamer for their own bowlers.
Yeah, so it's always a real spectacle. You've got the Black Keys are performing as well. So yeah, there's a lot going on. It's not like their Super Bowl, but it's the same kind of thing, right? Like it's just after New Year's Day, and everyone sort of gets together and
a spectacle.
Yeah,
and the odds are locked there as well, $1.87 to $1.85. So
jeez.
Yeah, so it's not even the punters know which way it's going to go.
No, I mean they're two of the most exciting teams. Boston have just been unreal this season, so it is hard not to go past Boston in any kind of situation.
And when's that game again?
For us, I did a little time zone conversion. Jan 3rd, 8 a.m. I'm not working that day, so I know what I'll be doing.
What a great time to be. Logan, thank you very much for your time, mate. Thanks very much for the hockey headlines. Greatly appreciate it. And let's go Bruins.